Hi, this is Tristan Wilds, one of the narrators of Perfect by Ellen Hopkins. Here's a short excerpt of the audiobook edition that I hope you all enjoy. Peace. Andre Markus Kane III. Bomb. Give most girls a way to describe me. That's what they'd say. That Andre Markus Kane III is bomb. I struggle daily to maintain the pretense. Why must it be expected, no, demanded, of me to surpass my ancestors' achievements? Why can't I just be a regular 17-year-old trying to make sense of life? But my path has been preordained without anyone even asking me what I want. Nobody seems to care that with every push to live up to their expectations, my own dreams vaporize. Don't get me wrong, I do understand my parents wanting only the best for me. I am 100% tuned to the concept that life is a hell of a lot more enjoyable with a fast-flowing stream of money carrying you along. I like driving a pricey car, wearing clothes that feel like they want to be next to my skin. I love not having to be a living, breathing stereotype because of my color. Anytime I happen to think about it, I'm grateful to my grandparents for their vision, grateful to my mom for her smarts, to my dad for his bald ambition and, yes, greed. Not to mention his unreal intuition. But I'm sick of being pushed to follow in his footsteps. Real estate speculation? Investment banking? Neither interests me. Too much at risk, and when you lose major. I much prefer winning, even if it's winning small. See, I think more like my grandfather. Andre Markus Kane Sr. embraced the color of his skin, refused to let it straitjacket him. He grew up in the urban California nightmare called Oakland, with its rutted asphalt and crumbling cement and frozen dreams, all within sight of sprawling hillside mansions. I'd look up at those houses, he told me more than once, and I'd think to myself, no reason why that can't be me, living up there. No reason at all, except getting sucked down into the swamp, meaning welfare or the drug trade or even the tired belief that sports were the only way out. I guess I just wanted a big old house on the hill more than just about anything, and I knew my brain was the only way to get it. Oh, what a brain. My gramp started inventing things in elementary school, won awards for his off-the-wall inventions in high school, and a full-on scholarship to Cal Poly. He could have gone on to post-grad anywhere, except just about then he fell hard for my grandmother, Grace, a Creole beauty from Belize. Never saw any girl could match her, before or since, he claims. God sent her to me. Maybe. I mean, who else would have encouraged Gramps' crazy ideas? Telephones that didn't need wires? Computers in every American home? Ambitious goals, especially in the 60s, when color TV was about as technological as most people got. But if Andre Kane believed it would come to pass, then so did his new wife, Grace. Gramps led the charge into the Silicon Valley. He got his house on the hill, and then some. Gramps' obese bank account came with taxes and bills. His kids, 2 boys and a girl, came with private school tuitions. Dad was the oldest, and so came programmed with the eldest son syndrome. A classic overachiever, hell-bent on making his own mark on the world, and a bigger one than his father's. Andre Markus Kane Jr. had more than drive going for him. He had luck, eerie foresight, and brilliant timing. Right out of college, Dad became an investment banker, banking heavily on his own investments. His stock portfolio thrived, and somehow he knew to dump everything right before the last time the market crashed. So when things started to look iffy again, he went looking for other investments. Lending is too easy these days, I heard him tell Mom. You can't keep giving those loans away. Adjustable rate mortgages are going to bring this country down. Which explains why we deserted the Golden State in favor of the Silver State some 18 months ago. Dad keeps pouncing on the distressed properties that pop up regularly. Plus, cost of living is lower here, and that includes my tuition to Zephyr Academy, the finest college prep school in northern Nevada. I don't miss California too much, except seeing Gramps and Grandma Grace. That and the street dance scene. Dad might be sympathetic to my missing my grandparents, but dance is not even a small blip on his radar. I mean, it would not jibe with his plans for my future. It's an ongoing rant. Mom, who's generally more focused on where to nip and how to tuck her patience, only brings it up once in a while. Dad is more pragmatic and broaches the subject regularly, especially with graduation in plain sight. Did you decide about school? I've had positive responses from 2 California colleges. Either would be okay, I guess. Not yet. Stop procrastinating. Where do you see yourself next year? Because it won't be here. It's time for a viable plan. Dorm or a homeless shelter? Nice choice. Thanks, Dad. My plan is art school, a frivolous career in graphic design. I'm still waiting to hear back from my top choice, the San Francisco Art Institute. But when I told Dad that, he freaked. Apparently, art plus San Francisco can only mean one thing. You're not serious. He actually yelled, all of his well-cultivated self-control right out the window. What are you, a homosexual? It might have been funny, except for the way that he looked at me, like hinging on my answers was worthiness of the Kane surname. I shook my head, agreed to rethink my future, wishing that I could confess that my real dream isn't art. It's dance. My parents have no idea. No one does, except my instructor, who gives me private lessons. Ballet, modern, some ballroom. But I love jazz most of all, and Liana says I got real talent. I don't know about that, but I do know that dance lifts me above the mundane, grounds me with the certainty that I am good at something, connects me to the place inside where I find passion, meaning beyond possessions, pride divorced from my last name. But how can I confess that to my father? He thinks a career in art will make me a gay loser. If I told him I wanted to be a dancer, it would erase any doubt in his mind that that's exactly what I am. As for my mom, she mostly cares about wasted tuition. Art? You might as well go to public school. What's the point of spending all this money to ensure you have a quality education only to have you squander it on an indulgent flight of fancy? Funny, considering indulgent flights of fancy bring in a good portion of her income as a plastic surgeon. Today, snow plummeting from the silver sky. Dr. Kane is working in her home office. I can hear her purring to a patient on the phone. I understand and your concerns are justified. Like all cosmetic surgery, liposuction can have side effects, but you are a perfect candidate. Mom will talk that lady into letting her suck the fat from the woman's gut, butt, or thighs, a shortcut to perfection. Damn the bills. You'll be the finest woman standing in the bankruptcy line. Your plastic surgeon doesn't care either. She gets payment in full up front, which helps her pay for her ambitionless kids' unappreciated tuition. No classes today, though. Today, even the snowplow drivers are staying inside. At least I haven't heard one go by. It's a good day to hang out at home. But I got other plans. And a stellar all-wheel drive Audi Quattro. Mom's still on the phone convincing. I call out anyway. See you later. Her voice falls quiet, so I know she must have heard me. But she doesn't bother to say goodbye.